Talk with a Therapist. I'm your host, Felicia Cameron, a licensed clinical social worker for the great hospitality state of Mississippi. I'm also the owner and founder of Lending a Hand, which is a mental health practice that I provide counseling service for individuals dealing with anxiety and depression. Look, today on Tuesday Talk, I want to talk about coping with anger and stress, a coping skill, and they call it break it. What I mean by break it, this weekend I got a chance to do this coping skill called break it. I'm calling it break it. Went to a place called where it's a place where they have bottles where you can go into this location and you pay so much money to go inside this location and actually break bottles with rocks. We deal with rocks, or you can use, they also have other package deal where you use other tools to break items. I'm not here to promote the business, but of the concept. I notice that many times people dealing with anxiety or stress, and they have to find a way to relieve the stress. And sometimes people do have an anger problem while they're dealing with anxiety. So why not try break it? What I mean by breaking, same concept. What do you either go to a location where you pay some money where they put up glass bottles and you take rocks and you throw the rocks and break in the bottles as a way to release frustration, to release anger. Or you set up in your own location a safe place where you can just, a way that you can break bottles and have some way to clean it up. The concept is to really get the stress out, a way to stop focusing on the pain and hurt. And many times you are angry, so how can I relieve it? And if that's including going to a place where you pay some money, get a bucket of rocks, and you throwing at the bottles just like I did. First, I thought I don't understand about this. But the more I was doing it, the better I feel. And that's strange. I actually started laughing and forgot about any issues of that week that I had that was causing, not saying I had anger, but stress that was dealing with that week. It helped to relieve the stress. And not only that, it created a workout. I was starting to perspire and sweat and working that arm and throwing that arm, trying to so focus on breaking the bottles and with the rocks and just picking it up and breaking it. It kind of to help get your mind off of the problems, And so one coping skill to deal with anxiety and to deal with stress, and it can deal with anxiety, but to deal with stress, especially if you have an anger problem, is to actually go to a place where they call like break it, or you set up your own place where you actually get some rocks and you break some bottles. You let that frustration out, let it out of you. If that includes that you throwing things at the bottle and breaking it to relieve the stress, try it. I mean, I tried it and I was really surprised. And I would encourage, if you can, to give it a try, especially if you have a lot of anger built in you, and trying to, one way to cope with is to get it out of you by breaking some bottles. But I'll share more information about other coping skills to deal with anxiety, stress, and anger. I just wanted to share that experience because I got a chance to participate and actually do it. And what I want to say, yes, when you're first starting off, it's like, this ain't going to make sense. But when you pick up that rock and you start throwing it, and it's like if you look at it in a different way, it's like that rock can represent whatever problem or stress or situation you was dealing with that day. And you throwing it away, getting it off of you. I'm throwing it off of me and getting it off of me and breaking the bottles. And so there's so much that you can get out of that to help with the healing process and dealing with anger or dealing with anxiety or dealing with stress. And so I encourage you to try something different. And if you would like more tips and techniques about how to cope with anger, anxiety, or depression, please give me a call. You can reach me at 601-317-5997, or you can check me out on my website, www.lendingmyhand.com. And I look forward to talking to you again on next Tuesday Talks with a Therapist. Thank you.